painted with core red, and now it's time to add some light to the depths, because you all know what I want to achieve with this model. First off, you have to use some normal blood red from Games Workshop, and you really have to thin it down so it becomes a little like a wash. As you can see here, it's really thin. So I'm going to apply that into the deeper parts of the model, like so. Don't be shy with it, use a lot. Just make sure you have no bubbles and well, you can actually still see the details. Also that it comes into the deepest parts of the model. Just do this for all the parts on the model. You probably need more than one coat, so be patient with it. And as I am doing partially gold, partially burning, I won't need it anywhere near the top, so I'm just going to apply it for to make sure I get a good coverage everywhere. So when I go over it with gold, I won't have a problem that I don't have any of the blood red or burning effect in the depths of the model. I'll see you back when it's all here. I have applied layers. Well, just one layer of red on the model. Stupid light. Well, it's not really visible, but you can see around his belt there's a puddle of blood red. And I did this on purpose so the color would really stand out from the depths. And you are going to need that for later when you're applying other layers like skull white and yellow, which really don't cover that well. I always start with a wash like this to get some color in the depths, and then later I'm going to use less thinned down paints to carefully paint the highlights, deep lights, whatever, in the deepest part of the models. So then you're going to see much more difference than you can actually see now, because it's really hard to see how I painted it, because my light is way too bright. So fix it like this. Here you can see it already better. How it's becoming nice and red. But you'll notice once I have finished it, it looks a lot better. Let this miniature dry, and after that we're going to paint the blood red better in the deepest part of the model, and we're going to highlight the parts with a darker color, so real highlights. And I'm going to use some dark flesh for that, and some Gale's black, really thin down too, but just not thin down enough to make it flow like a wash, but to make it stay actual paint. Probably can't see much difference right now, but next up, now the wash has dried up, and I'm going to paint the pure blood red into the deepest part of the model. After that, I hope you can see some more difference. If not, then I'll highlight it with the dark flesh and Gale's black, and then you'll probably see some difference. If not, well, you're kind of blind, I guess. Blood red, straight out of the bottle. I'm going to touch up all the little places where its burning feel should come from. after this you should get a nice glow from those places. And if you will excuse me, I need some. You can slightly see a brighter red from the inside, mostly from this part down. The key is, because I want to make a burning effect on the downside and a gold effect on the upside, is because I didn't have to do these kind of space around his neck or his shoulder pads, because they're going to be gold anyway. And his feet must be really burning. So you can also see that it's way brighter here than on his knee, for example. So I've painted till about this point, including his arms, with a brighter red. So I got a little more space to add the gold to, and I'm going to make it a little bit darker now so you can see the difference. Although it may not seem like much right now on camera, but I can assure you in real life it looks really good so far. If you have base coated the model and you have applied the first wash of red, it might not even look good, or you might not even see much of a difference. You really have to keep on painting. As soon as you can see a little color change, you're on the right path. So just keep on going, even if it looks messy or it looks like you've completely failed, but you should really keep going. And once the transition between the light and the dark is bigger, you can see more of a difference and it looks really a lot better. I can assure you, I have done this before, and well, the first time I stopped after it became messy and put it down for a couple of days, probably some weeks actually, and then picked it up again, and all it took was to make it a little darker, all the red parts, which I'm going to do right now. See the kind of substance I've made my color. It's not really that thick, but also not really that thin, because I want to see some good coverage, but still make the transition smooth. As you can see, if I dip a little paint on here and dip it on here, you can see that the paint pulls back. If I put a stripe, it pulls back. Once it does that, it's really good. Well, for me actually, everyone has its own taste in paint like that, but I like my paint the way it is like that, so I can still see the color beneath it, and if I mess up I have enough time to correct it. Start by applying this color, this pure dark flesh from Games Workshop, on the parts which are going to be darker than the burning inside, which means here these thighs. And don't worry, you can always go over it again if you mess something up like I did just there. And because my paint is wet, I can easily correct it. Just pick out all the high parts like you would normally highlight a model, and go on from there. Once you've done that, you can try, once it has dried, I'll show you in a minute, you can grab your base coat color again and try to blend it in a little bit more. You'll see more of this after this video. Although it may seem like it, but the darker parts are not shading caused by the light, but it's painted on. It's painted on with this thin down dark flesh, and for the next coat I'm going to add some Gale's Black to it. Just a tiny drop and some more water, because my layer was still too thick on places, but you can now see the lighter places in the deeper parts. If you actually accidentally paint a little bit of the dark flesh on red gore, or you think the highlight is pushed too sharp, do not worry, I'll take care of that later. First I'm going to add some transition, and once that looks good, we can start by touching up the details and stuff and make the glow brighter. So the next step is add Gale's Black, pick out the highlights, the darker highlights more, and after that we're going to touch it up a little bit with the red gore to add some of the object source lighting caused by the flames inside his body, and then probably with another coat of dark flesh with Gale's Black, and in the end some pure Gale's Black. That's going to be next. So first, when you have any dark flesh or you want to save some time, you can also use scorched brown for the next layer, but it has to be thinned down a lot, even more than the last layer. And start highlighting it like you normally would. Be really careful, because you can easily make mistakes here. And when you make one, use enough water like I do to touch it up again. And then once you've once you water down your mistake, the paint, you can use water to water it down a little bit even more and get a clean brush, dry it up, and suck up the water and paint. That's my way of solving all those problems you get with mistakes. Be careful here. You have to do this again, almost for the whole miniature. Keep doing this until you get the following result. This is how your miniature probably looks like after the scorched brown or dark flesh and Gale's Black highlight. As you can see, the color difference is becoming bigger, and my issue is that the highlights are still too sharp, so I'm going to touch them up with dark flesh and red gore. I'm going to start with red gore and paint around the edges on parts which highlights are too extreme. For example, here just above his chest there are two dark lines which I really don't like. So I'm starting with red gore and see if I can touch them up. Use thin down paint for this, or else the red gore will easily overflow the dark and you have to start all over again, just like you're applying your base coat again. You just have to touch up those few spots, and in the end it will look a lot better, a lot more quiet actually, if you know what I mean, and the highlights will be a lot softer that way.